So in our previous lecture, we saw how to load the index template in our application. Now we need to load the about us template in our application. And in order to do that, we have to make use of router. So router in Ember.js is basically responsible for figuring out the route name for each request that is coming in. And in order to create a router in our application, we'll head over to the app.js file that we have, and here remember the app object that we have created. We'll make use of that app object and we'll say router dot map, and then we'll pass an anonymous function inside it, and here we'll simply write this dot route and we'll provide the name of the route over here. So let's say in our index.html page we have the route defined as about, so we'll say here as about and then terminate it with a semicolon. So here we have saved the route. Now let's load the page in browser. Now if I click on about us over here, you can see that about skill bakery is getting loaded, and here in the Firebug you can see that it says transitioned into about. Before that you get to see this message that says preparing to transition from index to about, and these log messages are coming up because in our app.js we have set log transitions to true. Now this hash symbol that you're seeing over here basically marks the end of file path. So anything after this is a route for our Ember application. And as we know that there's only one application object created for Ember, there's only one page that gets loaded and all other pages are basically accessed via router. So if you try to access something of this sort over here, like about just this one, you'll see page not found, that is 404, because there's no such page existing like about.html or a directory called about, and inside that we have a file called index.html. There's nothing like that over here, and that's the reason why you're seeing 404 not found. So let's go back to the about page. Now there's one more thing. If you want to customize this path, let's say I wanted to show it as about us. So here if I say it as about us, we can do this in our app.js as well. All we need to do is specify a path over here. So we'll say path, and then inside single quotes I can simply give the about us link, and that way now if I try to load the index.html page over here, if I click on about us now, you'll see that after the hash symbol we are seeing about-us. So that way you can also customize your route path. Now a question arises, why we are not defining a route for our index page? That is because in our Ember application, index template is loaded by default, and that's the reason why we do not need to define a route for that. So the basic flow is whenever the application launches, whenever this instance gets created, you can say, it loads all the templates that are defined in our index.html page, and then based on the request that is coming via the router, it loads that particular template or it renders out that particular template's content in the browser. So that way the router works.